everybody, it's Scarlet Pete here with my Self-Sufficiency channel, and I'm with my knitting machine. So it's my knitting machine series again. What I'm going to do today is show you how to cast on waste yarn and knit a beautiful picot edge hem. So stay with me. What we're going to do first of all is select, let's see, shall we select 15 stitches each side. So there's 10 and 5, so that's 15. Let's put those all into work to get ready to work. There we go. And we'll leave the tension dial at number 7 and we'll just knit across one row first. We're going to use some waste yarn first, so I'm going to use this really bright coloured orange. Because I've got a cast on comb, I'm going to use a cast on comb to clip onto here, going down and hold all the stitches. Cast on combs are great things. It's just a quick, easy way to cast on some waste yarn and not to do an E-wrap or anything. So now we just knit after we've hooked it on. Let's see. Hooked it onto every stitch. There you go, look. It holds the yarn at the bottom and it holds it all nicely and does a good clean cast on. So I'm going to go ahead and knit another 4 rows waste yarn. I've hung a weight on so I don't need to hold on to it. And now I'm going to use my ravel cord so that it'll be really easy, and this is the ravel cord or nylon cord, to knit one row across, and so afterwards when we want to release the waste yarn, the ravel cord gets pulled out the way and it leaves us with a clean hem. We break and take out the waste yarn. Cat's just spotted I'm doing something interesting with a different cord. So we thread that through into the feeder behind the gate and we hold it above like this as we knit across. Because I'm using a knitmaster, I can release the carriage and bring it back to the right hand side. So that's what I did. I've got the tension on 3 ready to do my hem because the hem needs to be tighter and smarter. And there's the ravel cord. So that's going to help us distinguish the difference between the waste yarn, a way to pull it away, and the first row that we're going to pick up shortly. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide how wide my hem's going to be. So I'm thinking, let's say, we'll do it 8 rows long. So we'll do 8 rows at tension 3, and then we'll create the picot. And the picot is a beautiful serrated edge to the knitting. Can you see here? Just need to pull that a little bit tight. If you notice they're a bit loose when you do the first row, just pull the edge stitches tidy. I'll carry on and do my 8 rows, tension dial 3 in the yarn I want to use. There we have our 8 rows. Now if we had a punch card machine, we could use a punch card sheet to select and transfer every second stitch over to make our picot, but because we haven't got the punch cards for this machine here at the moment, I've got to buy a set. I'm going to use a transfer tool. So I'm using the single transfer tool and I'm going to take one stitch, leaving the first stitch. I'm going to then take the next stitch to it, pull it out, put it onto my tool and turn it over and pull it onto the next stitch. So then we've got one stitch full, excuse my nails, I've been in the garden, one stitch full, one stitch empty and one stitch with 2 on. So the next one to transfer is the next one that's not sticking out. So it's going to be every second stitch is going to have 2 stitches on the needle. So it's 1 empty, 1 full, 1 empty, 1 full. And we'll carry on and do that the whole way across the work here. If we had a multi-transfer tool with us today, we could do multiples of these, but I haven't got that around. So I'll carry on by one. Ta-da! All done. So if we, excuse me, if we left these ones out of working position, they would not work. So what we need to do is pull them forward. Now, as I have 2 stitches on each of these needles that are selected, I've opted to bring them all the way out just to make it easier for the carriage to knit them. So these ones here I'm just going to pull forward as well. The empty ones have now all been brought forward into the higher working position. Now we want to make a fold line, so we're on tension 3. I'm going to add it onto tension 8, and the fold line, if I make it loose, will that folding row will be beautiful if we make it a loose row. So this will feel weird, because it's a bit more difficult. As you can see, I've stuck because I've got my left hand doing it. Let's see if I can carry on. Ooh. So that's gone across. Now we can see the picot edges. See? We've got to remember to put it back to, what were we on? Was it tension dial 3? So we've knitted 1 row. Now we need to knit another 8 rows to do the other side of the welt. So then it will fold up. We've now got those 8 rows. So we've got 8, we did waste yarn, the ravel cord or nylon cord that's going to be pulled out, 8 rows of the main yarn, the folding line which is loose, then 8 rows again of the main yarn at your tension dial 3. 3, 8, 3 with the tension dials. So now we need to take the claw weight off and the comb, which should just pop off like that. That leaves us with an open edge. So if we pull this, it will unwind. And now we need to find the first of the brown or cream. So we don't want to pick up the nylon cord, look. We need to pick up the butts there of the creamy brown yarn. So we've picked up the first stitch and we've put that on needle 2, and we've picked up more of the first row there, look. There's the ravel yarn. And we're going to lift those up and put those onto the needles. And we're going to go all the way along the work till the end. So we've got 2 stitches on each needle and nothing on the first one. There we have 2 on all of them. We might end up picking up a little tiny bit on the edge and putting on that end needle, and here we've got this empty one that we started off with, so we're going to take one from the side and just thread that up onto here. And now I'm just going to hold the long end of the ravel cord and pull till it comes out, and then this should just drop off. I'm going to leave that there like that. Now we've got to go back to the main tension that the garment is going to be knitted at, so we'll pretend that's number 8. This row is going to feel weird. You see the picot edge? There we have the picot edge. Now what I'm going to do is just throw this off. So I'm just going to take the yarn out, and I won't break it because I'll rewind it and reuse it again. So I've just stashed the yarn at the end. Travel the carriage across, which will remove the yarn in the machine, and here we have, let me see if I can show you nicely, a nice sharp picot edge. And you see, isn't that lovely? So I hope that helps you. Now I would use that on baby clothes edgings, on a blanket edging maybe. You'd make a really nice collar. And what you could also do is put a colour in. So we could have done 6 rows of the brown, 2 rows of black, the fold line, and then another 2 rows of black before then doing this. The remainder here of 6. So we'd end up with black tips here. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps. Take care, my friends, and we'll hang around for the next video. Bye bye.